And this is part 2 of our video editing roundup. Today we're going to be talking about DaVinci Resolve. Last week, a few weeks back we talked about HitFilm. Well, today we're going to be talking about DaVinci Resolve 15. So if you want to check out the last one, go down to the description or check out our YouTube. Hey, even hit subscribe if you want. But let's get right into it. And so just like HitFilm, this program is free, but you do have to fill out some details here. Your phone number, email. So if you don't like giving out those kind of details, it may be a problem for you, but if it's not, it's free. So just hit register and download, and let's jump right into the program. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open a new project. We'll just call this test. You can call yours whatever. So if you're familiar with other video editors, this may look familiar, but we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna drag on some footage here. So right here you can see we have the timeline, we have our footage on it. So we're just gonna go and we're gonna trim this down some. So there's a lot of things that we probably don't need in here. So let's see when this box is pretty still. Let's just cut that. So up here you can see this is your toolbar. Right now I have the razor blade selected, which they call it the blade edit in this one. That's fine, you call it whatever they want. But they have other things like you can have snapping on. So if I cut this and I put my mouse, I can move that. And since I have snapping on, you'll see it snaps right to it. And if you don't have it on, then you'll kind of see that you can kind of easily overlap it and it can kind of delete some of your footage. But alas, if it deletes it, it's all right. You just go over to the side, press and hold, and you can drag it back. But let's turn snapping back on. We don't really need this footage, so we'll just press delete. So that's the basics of the timeline. There's not much to it. You got your audio and your video over here. You can lock, so you can't move it. You can also just lock your audio. One nice thing I really like about DaVinci is how it handles windows. So you can see up here, the media pool is whited out. So we have it open. We can just close by just pressing it. So in programs like Premiere, you would have to, if you closed your media library or something, yeah, there's shortcuts you can use to open it back up. Most of the time, you have to go up to this spot called Windows and then find it. But in this one, all you gotta do is just click it and it opens right up and it closes it. So it never really gets in the way. Effects library. And you got your inspector, which is basically just the properties of everything. So you can see right here, it's the properties of the video. So if we want to rotate it, we can. Let's undo that. Undo button right here. And it looks like this is, and there's a little keyframe right here too, so you can keyframe animations. Let's actually test this out here. So we'll go right here, make another keyframe. You can go back to the last one, but let's go to that one and then we'll just turn it. Let's see how that works. Space is autoplay. All right, and it worked just fine. So let's go ahead and delete that. We don't need those keyframes. Okay, so now we have this little bit here. So let's head into Fusion. So right here, this is a node editor. If you've never seen a node editor before, this may look a little confusing, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty simple and it can lead to doing some creative things, or at least doing simple things creatively. So let's add some text. So let's just overwrite Vibe Pro with some text here. So first things first, let's add text. So you can open your effects library up here, but I already have mine opened. So let's just add text. You can do the same thing over here too, but I already have it. So let's just attach text to that, but let's detach media 1 and let's let text go into that and there. But you're like, okay, where'd the video go? Well, whenever you add an effect on, you actually have to merge it. So what needs to happen is this needs to go there, and then the text needs to merge to that. Well, you got to use the little gray box here. And there you go. Now we have text, so let's just put beep, beep, beep. So there's that. You can just move it over here on the timeline, or you can move it over here too. Let's change the color to, let's change it to black. So now it's the beep beep box. And so this is kind of the basics of the Fusion editor. Go up here, add some stuff, merge it. You kind of just have to play up and see how it works. So we may just do a whole nother tutorial on how nodes work. So watch out for that. If you'd like to know more about how nodes work, let me know down below and we'll see what we can do. So this is the color tab. You can see up here is another node editor, just like in Fusion. And let's say I want to tone down the greens in this video because I don't know, I don't like my greens or something. A little too much. Need a little bit more green action. So if you just right click it, it'll just go back to its default. Over here you can change your gamma, your gain, offset, and your lift. And just like with curves, well actually, if you want to reset these, you just double click them. You left click, double click, and it just resets those. So over here, let's see what we got here. So, ooh, we got a little camera shake highlighted. So let's add that onto here. So if you play it, you can see it doesn't really do anything. Okay. I just talk. But let's add a little bit of a camera shake. Let's take that off it, and let's add connect the greens. And I did a little something, let's see, and let's play it. Look at that, that got me a nice camera shake. You can see even the beep beep shakes a little bit. Now it's not attached, but you know, you can always track that to make it follow that box. But we'll maybe talk about that in a later tutorial. So that's a little bit about the color panel. You can see in all these different tabs, the windows up here change. So you got your effects library, your sound library, your mixer, inspector. Most of the time there's always an inspector because, well, except in color, there's no inspector. But yeah, there's usually an inspector. So like I said, inspector is your properties. So, you know, if you change this here, actually let me click on that. If you clicked on your camera shake, or if you have all kinds of effects here, you'll notice none of the colors actually change. So be sure you click on your main little video here. So you'll notice, okay, let's turn this really bright so you can tell. So Fairlight, that's just where you do your audio. So color, you can do your color and masking, among other things. Fusion is just, that's just that node editor. It's where you can do all your nodes. Edits, well, it's just editing. You place it, you piece it all together. Another thing about Fusion is there's a timeline. So up here, you got your keyframes. Let me see if I can find one of these keyframes here. Yeah. So let me zoom out here. So yeah, you can actually see you have negative frames, which kind of confused me at first. But you can zoom in here, you can see we have some effects here. You can move that. So right here you can see this is my text. But let's say we only want the text to appear a little bit of the time, so we go there. Let's zoom out and let's make the text, let's shorten that text. We just want it to appear for a little bit, not long at all. Now you can always make this bigger, maybe make it easy, a little bit easier to use. And there we go. So now if we go over to edit, you can see it only stays there. It's not in there, it's not there for the full time anymore. Okay, now that we have this poorly edited video, let's render it. So let's make sure we have our settings. You have custom settings, or you can just pick one of the presets. Now since we're gonna upload this to YouTube, we'll just upload it like this. Most of the settings are fine. You can name it. It's already named test. We'll save on the desktop, that's good. Test already exists. So all right, we'll just replace it. I was playing around this program edit earlier and I exported a test, so that's why. So we'll just add this to the render queue. You'll see it's added. If you need to update it, just hit the edit button and then you can update, do whatever you need to, change your audio, file, stuff like that. Update job, and then start render. And this is 3 seconds, so it's gonna export really fast. Isn't this beautiful? Okay, so now that you finished up DaVinci, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I love the color grading that you can do in DaVinci. I mean, just check this out. You can just do all this stuff, look at it. I mean, they have all these presets and it's just right there for you. You have these little library of little effects like camera shake. Who doesn't like a good old camera shake? Overall, I'd say I'm gonna stick with Adobe when it comes to editing. It just felt right to me. This software feels different than HitFilm and Adobe, but I like that about it. The node editor is cool, you know, the audio is cool, all that stuff was pretty neat. I mean, to edit audio in Premiere, you have to get Audition, but right here, I mean, this has everything you need right here. I mean, it's not a bad software. especially for free. So if you're looking for a free video editing software, I can safely recommend this one. So this has been Tech Tuesday, and it's not even Tuesday. Whoa. So I'm Adrian, and I'll holler at you later.